The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page. Essentially, for Season 2, we've expanded upon the lessons learned from our Season 1 endeavor and planned on an Upper Peninsula expedition that involves off-roading, mountain biking, and hiking, while visiting some of the most picturesque places in Michigan and in the United States. In Season 1, we learned the importance of teamwork, and the main goal of this season was to expand on that. Learning to travel together is one of the most difficult things to do in all of overlanding. Departure time was near. The team was gearing up for its first ever expedition up to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and we could not be more excited. But so many things had to be done in so little time. We did a quick, thorough inspection of all our vehicles, and that's when we noticed that Scott was harboring a stowaway.
I think we got like one small dent. Where? Gas tank's good. What are you talking about?
Alright guys, here we are. It's go time. Less than 24 hours before we kick off our Upper Peninsula, Michigan expedition. We're checking the rigs, we're checking our equipment, we're making sure everything is just so, and then we covered all of our bases and we're ready to rock. From the moment we left Knoxville, we pushed all the way up into Kentucky and then through Ohio and then up into Michigan as well. Obviously, we dealt with some trailer issues, no big deal. Essentially, we were switching out to a bigger tire and wanting to run the BFG 34 1050s on the trailer. So we got that situation, we got that problem solved.
These need to be torqued to 165 foot-pound. Yeah. So we're gonna need probably a breaker bar as well. We'll pull the handle out of the high lift. Get them close. I didn't bring a torque.
So what we got here is the girls doing what they do best. Looking pretty, looking good. And here's the other girl.
I'd like to see him whip up some cheers though. I know both y'all are cheerleaders back.
Our trailer there had like some toe out, which means that the tire was pointed this way, and it was shaking like crazy when we were going down the interstate. Tommy and I had to get under there and actually adjust the angle of the tire. It took us a good hour, but we're about to get back on the road now. Look at that sunset.
Let it all go. Close your tired eyes. Sleep for a little while. Just put your guitar down.
So day one, we left Knoxville today. We have not even made it into Ohio. Left about 6:30. It's now 1:30 in the morning on day 2. We put some new tires on the trailer to yesterday, and what ended up happening is it changed the angle with those timber and axles. So in the morning, we are gonna go find a place, supposedly right down the street. We're right outside of Florence, Kentucky. And we're gonna see if we can get this fixed. CBT, TA parking lot, ready to go, day 2. Let's do this.
Hey Matt, we found a Toys R Us for you.
We found a place that will fix our trailer. This is Bob's Summerall Tire and Service in Florence, Kentucky. There's a real nice guy that said he'd try to fix our trailer for us. They normally don't work on stuff like this, but God, it's a job, man. He's having to like cut bolts off and stuff. I feel bad for him. He's really helping us out though. So we're gonna hang out here for a little while, see if we get the trailer fixed.
So I just had an interesting phone call. Bill's mom, she just called one and told me she missed me. I can see Tommy's head laughing though.
Yeah, that's what I told him. He said it'll be a unique perspective on off-road.
Hell yeah.
That's right, here we are on 31 going through Grand Haven, Michigan right now. We're about 18 miles out of the 18th Amendment Distillery. It's gonna be nice. We've had a hard push to get here. Here we are, looking forward to kind of wind it down here at the distillery. More to come.
We were camping in Asheville with some friends. We ran across this awesome guy who saw our rigs and wanted to talk about our next trip and what we were up to. And so we kind of gave him a little tour, and he gave us a bottle of spirits and said, I can't believe you're heading my way.
And we made it to downtown Muskegon. This town is cool.
All right, you're bringing the camera.
What's he? Is he changing?
He's putting on his shirt. You ready to go there, princess?
How you feeling, man?
I'm worn out.
Me too.
Are you refreshed?
Yeah.
Clean shirt, deodorant?
Yeah, deodorant. No, sweaty shirt.
Perspiration under control?
Yeah.
All right.
Glandular disorder.
Check into the hotel.
Come on in.
Thanks, man.
After you, sir.
Thank you.
The same, we just had it sandblasted and sealed. Same thing with the floor, sandblasted and sealed. The bar is probably the second most historical thing in the building. It's an original Brunswick bar made in the late 1800s as well. So we actually found that guy. So it's the back part, the front part, and then the two side cabinets. We found that out in Denver, Colorado. Our distiller flew out there and rented a U-Haul and then drove it all the way back here. So we had our centerpiece here with the lockers and all of our merchandise. We had that. That's actually my uncle built that to kind of match the bar.
And this is where it gets real.
Get in the cage. Like I said, this was all part of the original bank still. These are all of our barrels for aging whiskey and bourbon. So right now we have rye whiskey and bourbon whiskey.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow, yeah, that's awesome.
Well, luckily in my past life I was an explosive expert. Out here. It's a big access.
You would charge on.
So the minimum we age our product is 9 months, and but once we get into much bigger production distribution, the minimum aging requirement is going to be 2 years.
He has a distillery in Michigan, and we just thought it was pretty uncanny that we met in Asheville the other opposite way. So we really wanted to make this a part of our trip.
wanted to just take that time, kind of get together as a team, unwind a little bit before the expedition took place.
We are at the State Park Campground. It's right across the Mackinac Bridge in the Upper Peninsula, so we made it to the Upper Peninsula. This morning we started out at the Silver Lake State Park, which is near the dunes. The goal was to get up this morning and go ride the dunes, but because of the weather last night and the weather this morning, we got a late start and we didn't get a chance to go ride on the dunes. So that is not checked on our list, but we will be coming back to do that. So we left this morning around 11 or so, maybe 11:30, and we took the drive up here to the Mackinac Bridge and to this campground, and you know what? It was spectacular. We stayed off the highway, we hit nothing but back roads, went through some small towns. There's one town that we went to, it's like Charleville or something. It's a little French town, and it was awesome. There were some huge yachts there. Just a really picturesque town. Just a great day. We're excited. Tomorrow we're going to start the actual trip, and it's on. So once we got to Mackinac, we decided that we were going to go across to Mackinac Island, and one of the ways to get over there is a hydrojet boat. And these are big jet boats that you take, and it takes about 15 minutes to get over there. Guys, so we're over here on Mackinac Island. Mike and I have decided to break off from the group, and we're out here checking out some of the old island homes. So the main means of transportation is bicycles. Everybody here rides a bike. There are no cars on this island. Everything is either walking, bicycles, or horse-drawn carriage.
And of course he stopped at Starbucks.
Can't pass up a Starbucks, man. This is gold.
Yeah, Mackinac Island, I mean, essentially Mackinac Island is the start of the Upper Peninsula endeavor for us. So hard push up to the UP. Mackinac Island was a treat. I mean, that place was absolutely stunning. So we took some time, and it was really important, you know, for the girls also. They really wanted to see Mackinac Island and explore it. It was great. I'm really glad that we took the time up front to explore Mackinac Island. It turned out to be a fantastic portion of the trip.
So we're here at Lido's Pasties. So this is it's beef, potato, onion, and rutabaga.
About the original pasty, it came over from Cornwall, England. The miners in Cornwall, England brought it over here when they started mining in western UP. Copper and iron ore. Yeah, just how it came over. That's why it's mostly in this area.
And what's it contain? Beef, potato, onion?
Potato, onion, and rutabaga.
Over here in this Upper Peninsula region, this was the meal of choice. So it's just kind of stuck around. Never had one before. It's supposed to be pie dough on the outside, and then the meat, the onion, the potato, and the rutabaga on the inside. So we'll see how it tastes. Pasty, Dave.
Kind of reminds me of a pot pie.
Wow, really good. Kind of sweet, but it's a meal. I can see why the miners would do it.
are in St. Ignace, Michigan.
St. Ignace, and there's Lake Huron right over there.
Yep. Very nice area. We keep getting like patches of sun and then patches of gray clouds, so there's a lot of storms rolling through, but beautiful, beautiful area.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Currently, we're just camped out in a parking lot, making some food.
And waiting to rendezvous with the VF Goodwrench guy, and then we're gonna go doing some off-road shenanigans after that.
So we're gonna hit some trail, get out of this city life.
Yeah,
for sure, man.
And do some real Tommy overlanding.
Tommy overlanding.
None of this VIP stuff.
No, real deal.
What are you doing, Tommy?
So the trailer is a 7-pin and my cruiser is a 4-pin flat. So since they don't seem to make a conversion, we are going to use a 7-pin female and a male 4-pin flat and make our own adapter, so that as we're rotating the trailer, I'm able to pull it and still have lights be legal here in the UP.
Awesome.
So linking up with BF Goodrich and the Cromers, essentially Tommy and I and Scott met Tim Cromer at 36U Worry, and you know, our relationship has just blossomed since then. The race was great. You know, 36U Worry, if that's something you guys haven't looked into out there, look into it. It's a strong race where you include the overland perspective, physical challenges in regards to kayaking, potentially getting on the bikes, orienteering, navigating. Also the mechanical perspective, problem solving with the high lift jack, with all the tools you know you'll have in your vehicle to execute any type of problem that you may encounter. Our relationship with Tim from BF Goodrich and his family is just blossoming, and we're enthusiastic to have him you know, with the team for this trip, and we're excited to see what we get into.
When we stopped at Whitefish Point, we decided to check out a local shipwreck museum, a museum dedicated to all the noble ships that Lake Superior has claimed.
And it's called the Surf Boat House, and it's how like the Coast Guard stuff helps with the ships and stuff.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi.
One thing about overlanding that I have definitely learned is you can see different things and people and places while totally disconnecting from your everyday stressors in life, and that is something that we definitely did on this trip.
More than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. That good ship and true was a bone to be chewed.
A little bit of history about Whitefish Point. It's got the oldest lighthouse that's on kind of Lake Superior, that's been there for about 150 years, and it's kind of the lighthouse that everybody has to pass, all the ships have to pass, and it's an area where on Lake Superior that there's a lot of ships that have gone down in that area. There's kind of an inlet that's there, and with the storms and winds, and a lot of them collide with each other and they get in that little area there and they can't get out.
Later that night when the ship's bell rang,
Edmund Fitzgerald that went down, and it's actually as early as 1975 it went down. Starts with the museum, and there's different artifacts and different shipwrecks. It goes around and talks about the different shipwrecks, not all of them, because there's about 6,000 actually that was on Lake Superior.
and every man knew as the captain did too, 'twas the witch of November come stealing.
I kind of feel like Lake Superior is evil, and it's kind of the aura that I got from it.
Gales of November came slashing. When afternoon came, it was freezing rain in the face of a hurricane west wind.
But there's also the house that was there that the lightkeeper stayed in with his family, and his children lived there, and they would take in some of the sailors and stuff that were there.
time came, the old cook came on deck saying, fellas, it's too rough to feed you.
This is cool.
We caved in, he said, fellas, it's been good to know you.
Bill, was that cold?
Captain wired in, he had water dripping in, and the good shipping cruising. Later that night when his lights fell out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Even though our journey had just begun, we'd already made a lifetime of memories and experienced so many unforgettable moments. We came to the Upper Peninsula looking for adventure, but we found so much more. What we had seen so far got us excited for the trails to come. Next time on Bold Overland.
Always gets bad after a while.
Appreciate that.
Well, we kind of like bad, but yeah. How deep do you think that med hole is?